does a blockchain need a gas token? There's been these concepts of private chains. To some extent, those have existed for quite a long time. And for me, I think that's really been a good testament to that's really been a good testament to some potential future use cases that we haven't seen yet. A lot of people have been attracted to our space because of one expression. That expression of the technology is cryptocurrencies. People are coming in and seeing, oh, this token can 100x. I want to be a part of that, or this token is going to partner with Disney. I want to be a part of that. And we've seen so much news, and so many things have kind of marketed us to kind of participate in this cryptocurrency ecosystem, that it kind of falls apart when you start challenging that and saying, maybe these aren't necessarily currencies, but they're commodities. And when you consider, a barrel of oil is a commodity, that's kind of what that functions like. It's very hard to separate that from like things like what is a gas token but a commodity. And so commodities are difficult to execute trade with because they're volatile assets. And so it's very hard to buy a cup of coffee in barrels of gasoline, because that means, or I should say barrels of oil, because that cup of coffee is going to change on a the cost of that is going to change on a daily basis. And so for me, it's kind of a good example of like where this thing kind of starts to break down once you separate the commodity from the currency aspect. And that's why we have fiat currencies. And to be perfectly honest, from our perspective as a company, that's why there are cryptocurrencies as well, such as stable coins are obviously cryptocurrencies. There could be some sovereign ones and things like that come out in the future. But even things like Bitcoin is doing a ton of good and kind of blurring that line there. But for me, I think that's like a good starting place that we can like look at and say, okay, the industry is pushing in this direction. So what's going to come next, right? What is the main adoption? How is that going to happen? And I think that for businesses to actually start to adopt blockchain technology, they're going to have to use cryptocurrencies. They're just going to have to, because if you're a business, why would you take on the risk exposure of a commodity that you have to hoard basically just to participate, on top of the cost of then using that system? And I think that's kind of the challenge that I think that our space kind of has to work on and start kind of resolving.